أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي عليه الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي عليه الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا قيما لينذر بأسا شديدا من لدنه ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعلمون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا حسنا والحمد لله الذي أنزل علينا كتابا مبينا وكان آخر ما نزل من آياته اليوم يئس الذين كفروا من دينكم فلا تخشوهم واخشوني اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد يا عباد الله أوصيكم ونفسي أولا بتقوى الله تعالى وطاعته. Dear beloved believers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ramadan Mubarak. All the praise and thanks is due to Allah, who has sent down his book upon his prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and there is nothing in it that is crooked. It is straight, explicit, and upright. And it is a warning to those who reject this uprightness. But it gives good news to those who believe, work righteousness, and seek to develop their potentialities that Allah has placed in them to serve Him accordingly. Praise be to Allah who has sent down this book and had made it an obligation upon us to deliver and promote this book called Quran. It is reported to be in the one of the last ayats or last comments from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, "Al-yawma ya'isa alladhina kafaru min dinikum." This day have the rejected the faith given up all hope on your religion. فَلَا تَخْشَوْهُمْ وَاخْشَوْنِي. But don't be afraid of them. Fear me. الْيَوْمَ أَكْمَلْتُ لَكُمْ. This day I have perfected for you. لَكُمْ, for you. وَأَتْمَمْتُ عَلَيْكُمْ, and has obligated you to carry this perfection, because this is the religion, Raditu Islam. He We perfected for us the religion of Islam. In this life that we are obligated to respect the receiver of this book and the receiver of the completion of this religion, which is Muhammad the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is because of him that we are here today. It is because of him that the world came out of total darkness. It is because of Muhammad the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the revolutionary. You see, a lot of times we don't look at Prophet Muhammad as a revolutionary, but he was the ultimate revolutionary. He revolted against the idol worships that was in Mecca without any help. And he fought that battle and converted and brought to the religion these millions and millions of people that you see around the world today. That was Muhammad, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam revolution. And that revolution is continuing. It hasn't stopped. We're still revolting against those idolatrous things that keep us from seeing God properly and from worshiping God properly. Muhammad the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was talking to his countrymen at one time, he told them, he said, if I told you there was an army over the mountain, over the other side, would you believe me? They said, yes, Al-Amin, for you are trustworthy, you are Sadiq, you are truthful. He said, why don't you believe me when I say, La ilaha illallah? La ilaha illallah. That there's nothing worthy of worship except Allah. And they rejected it. They rejected it. One of the most important things for us to understand about Muhammad, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that when the Quran came to him, he didn't need the Quran, personally. He didn't need it. My leader, Imam Muhammad, he said that Prophet Muhammad didn't need the Quran. He was already in the form that Allah had wanted. It is what is called sometimes in Quran the Hanif nature. Hanif. Hanif meaning one inclined to do right. One who's motivated to do right, even though wrong comes against you, even though criticism comes against you, you still want to be upright. We find that in oftentimes mentioned about Ibrahim alayhi wasalam in Quran. It says, Ibrahim Hanifa wa ma kana min al-mushrikeen. Ibrahim the upright and sane in faith, and he was not of those who were corrupt in worship. So this same flow was in Mecca at that time. There was a group called the Hunafa. These were a group that inclined to be right, wanting to be right, even though wrong was all around them. Well, Muhammad, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was the most excellent of this. Allah says of him, وَلَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. And certainly you have fi Rasulillah, in the Messenger of God, the most excellent model, the most excellent disposition. So alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ramadan then for us. And I wanted to speak to you today on Ramadan, but from a perspective that the Ramadan is an essential priority for building and strengthening our taqwa. For building and strengthening our taqwa. It's a priority in our principles. And this priority is found when Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, kutiba alaykumus siyam, kama ala kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. It speaks to the believers. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, all you who are believers. You see? It has been prescribed, kutiba. You know, in Arabic grammar, which is important to know and understand, to help you understand the Quran better, the kutiba, if you say kataba, it means he wrote. He wrote. Kutiba is it was written. One is called the active voice and one is called the passive voice. You know, and when you say the kutiba, it means that it was written, and the doer who did it is not known, but you can discover who it was. And Allah prescribed in the whole fabric of the creation abstinence. Abstinence. You know, one of the idiomatic expressions of Siam itself, Siam, or sound, Siam and sound, it means the center that brings about the balance when things get out of order. The center that brings about the balance when things get out of order. Now, if you refer to our life like that, after we go 11 months, a whole lot of things get out of balance. A whole lot of things get out of order. And then comes Ramadan. And what's particular about Ramadan is لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, that perhaps you will develop and learn Taqwa. Taqwa. Powerful, powerful word here. Learning Taqwa during this month. How do you learn it? By going to class and etc.? No. By becoming conscious of God so that He can teach you. Listen, brothers and sisters. There's an ayat in Quran, the longest ayat in the Quran and the longest chapter, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 282. The last sentence in that verse says, وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَيُعَلِّكُمُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. Have taqwa of God. Be conscious of God. وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ اللَّهُ, because Allah is teaching you now. You see, it doesn't translate it as if the teaching is still going on. It translates Allah teach you, or Allah teach you. But وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ اللَّهُ is what we call in the Arabic fi'l mudara. It's a present tense verb, meaning that the act goes on, and continues. So Allah is not a retired teacher getting a salary. Unless you put down your guard, unless you put down your protection. And see, this is one of the things about Taqwa. Taqwa is not just God conscious, but it's from the word, Arabic word waqiya, which means to show piety, godliness, devotion, but it also means to preserve, to protect, to shield, to guard. So now you're like a sentinel over your human innocence, your human nature. Allah created you innocent, not guilty. Forget being born in sin. It's permeated throughout the whole atmosphere that you were born a criminal. Zambun and Ithmu, you know, these words in Arabic mean also criminal. You wasn't born to lie, you wasn't born to steal, you wasn't born to cheat. You were born pure and upright. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ, Allah says in there. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. And certainly the human being has created فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ, in the most excellent upright mode. Taqwa is the word from Qama. If I say to you, Qama to Salat, what do? You stand, right? That's the same root word for Taqwa. But Qama to Salat is the same, the Qama, to stand. So your Taqwa, it means to stand up. So here is the nature of the human being. The nature. And this is evidence in the Quran. What I'm giving you is evidence from the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in the Quran, فَأَكِمْ وَجْهَكَ لِلدِّينِ حَنِيفًا فِطْرَةَ اللَّهِ الَّتِي فِطَرَ النَّاسَ عَلَيْهَا لَا تَبْدِيلَ لِخَلْقِ اللَّهِ ذَلِكَ الدِّينُ الْقَيِّمُ. Now when we look at this ayat, it says, فَأَكِمْ, stand, وَجْهَكَ, and face the direction of Dinu Hanifa, the Deen of Hanif, the Deen of upright. Deen is the obligation in our nature. That's why we say Maliki Yawmiddin. Allah is the master of the day of Deen, master of the day of religion, master of the day of recruitment, etc. So we say Maliki Yawmiddin, that He's master of the day of religion. But Allah said Deenul Hanifa, that the Deen of uprightness. It is the fitrah of Allah. It is the fitrah of Allah, and it is the fitrah that He patterns us on. Alayha. He has patterned the human being among this pattern of fitrah. So if we can understand this, the fitrah is that the original pattern that creates the whole universe of universes of universes. And it's a design. And on that design, Allah created you upon it. And He said, La tabdila li khalqillah. And don't you try and change it. ذَلِكَ الدِّينُ الْقَيِّمَ. Now comes another uprightness. ذَلِكَ الدِّينُ الْقَيِّمَ. And that is the deen of qayyimah. Upright, valuable. Yes. So now here's the word hanif, and here's the word qayyimah. Both are translated as upright. So I asked my teacher, Imam Muhammad, once, I said, Brother Imam, I said, both these words, hanif and qiyam, are translated upright. Wherein lies the difference? He said the hanif is the natural urge, motivation, and drive for you to be upright. And the qiyam is the establishment of that uprightness. Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Now, look. So, and he said, now this is the other point here. He said, and that's why when you recite the Quran, you only recite it in the position of qiyam when you're in the prayer. That's the only position. Why? Because the sign in it is that the Quran preserves your uprightness. That's how you should be. Not just in recitation without application, but recitation with application. So when you recite the Quran and you understand what you're saying and can apply what you're saying to to articulate it clearly in your life, brothers and sisters, let me tell you something. It's a brand new mind. It's a brand new thinking. So we thank Allah, the Almighty, for Muhammad, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who fought the opposition in Jahili Arabia. Ignorant Arabia, savages bearing baby girls alive and acting like food. And he would wonder, why are you acting like this? In his soul was stirring in him. And he had to leave out the situation. We know the history. And communicate with his Rabbah, his Lord. They wouldn't say Allahu Akbar then. But the Lord is always with you. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Praise be to Allah. Lord, cherisher, sustainer, guardian, evolver, nourisher, protector of all of the worlds and all of the systems of knowledge that come from those worlds. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Yes. So, alhamdulillah, Ramadan then is an essential priority for building and strengthening our taqwa. Because during this month, you have more taqwa than any other month. You always thinking, you want to know why? Because you're hungry, because you're thirsty, and you see your beautiful wife in the morning, you say, oh, baby, let me hit you. No, you can't do that. And any those drives, the hunger drive, the thirst drive, the sexual drive, it may hit you, and your stomach growls, and you tell it, you can't eat right now, and it growls again. It's saying, why? Because I'm fasting for hours. Yeah, your mouth gets thirsty, like I am now. I can't ask for no water. I have to tell the tongue, the lips, keep talking. You're fasting for Allah. So what does it remind me of? The strongest drive in me, the drive for food, the drive for drink, and the drive for life, to reproduce life, is so powerful. But I have to check them and put a hold to them and abstain them because Kutiba alaykumus siyam. Allah has put in our very nature fasting is for him. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي ألف بالإسلام بين قلوب المؤمنين وأوجب الاتحاد وحرم التفرق في كتابه المبين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده من شاء إلى الصراط المستقيم وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. الحمد لله رب العالمين. Dear beloved believers, in concluding this khutbah, Allah has united, Allah has united the hearts of the believers. And even if you spent all that you have, you can't do it. Even though we're at Jumuah means to unite individuals, bring together. Each one of you have a different ideal, a different mind, etc. But we come together to pray in unity. But you may be standing next to somebody you don't even like, unfunny, let's say. You go to Jumuah and leave out and start talking about the very person you prayed with. So you weren't united then. But when you say, وَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِهِمْ لَوْ أَنفَقْتَ مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا, that Allah unites the hearts of the believers. And even if you spent all the gold, uranium, diamonds, all that you own or come to, they say they found a planet out there in space that's a pure diamond. And they found another one that's nothing but gold in it. And that's why they're trying to get up there. So you want diamonds on here and gold. Allah can give you all that you want. Because it ain't but a golden rock. They just put value to it. But is that better than Taqwa? No, absolutely not. So Ramadan then brings to us the priority in our life. So Allah says, as I said to you earlier, that He teaches you what Taqwa is to study the brain, the eye surgeon, He study the eye, the skin, everything. Anything that you become, you have to study what Allah created. Then we respect you. He's a brain surgeon. He did this, he did that. He's that. Well, Allahu Akbar. But where he get the knowledge from? Allah. The same God that created him, guess what? Created you. And you have a little bit more favor because you have come to the call of as-salatu khayru min an-nawm. That the prayer is better than sleep. Not that physical sleep you're snoring under, but the sleep of mental mind. The sleep of mental thinking. So the prayer, and what is the prayer? Imam Muhammad said once, he said the whole Quran is a prayer. He said any part of it you can use in your salat. So now, You're reading 1/30th every day. So you're reading 1/30th, praying, because you're speaking with God who revealed that book. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. So dear beloved Muslim believers, Allah says in Quran, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. That this is the book, the Quran that we read, and in it, لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ, there's nothing in it doubtful. هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, except for those who have taqwa. Muttaqin, those who have taqwa. Satan knows that the best way to operate in your mind and in your thinking is to create doubt and produce fear. Doubt and fear. So Allah answers that to you and me. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. Now understand, kitab comes from kataba, which means he wrote, which kutiba comes out, which means it was written. We talked about those. But kitab is the book that comes from that. And Allah says in the Quran, Inna salata kana ala al-mu'minina kitabin mawqūt. That surely for the believers, the prayer is obligated as stated exact timing. Kitabin mawqūt. The law of kitabin mawqūt means that the time is exact. So here Allah says, taqwa, that you want to have this understanding of having no fear. You know what it means not to be afraid? Some of us won't answer a call because it's a bill collector. You're afraid to talk to him. We have all kinds of fears. And Allah said, وَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. That they will have no fear, nor should they have worry and greed. So it's this taqwa that erases the fear. It's this taqwa that erases doubt. I'd like to do it, man, but I doubt if I can handle it. Why? I know if it's something crazy, when you say, well, I know I'm on this building, I doubt if I can fly. No, you can't. Because you jump off, you're dead. But they create doubt for accomplishment. Look, the Imam here, Imam for the Khan, and the community here, they are embarking upon a major project to build an edifice that will respect our dignity and continue to respect our dignity. And I was here, the last time I was here, Brother Jamal, I think it was, and he mentioned $30 million. And I heard bones shaking. I told him, I said, man, $30 million ain't no money. They waste that now. It's because we have fear and doubt in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't you know Allah is with you? Don't you know Allah has gifted you to arrive here at Jumuah prayer? When they said in the 1800s, I can't think of his name, it'll come to me. One of the senators in Virginia said, as long as we can keep the light of Islam out of the mind of the slave, we can forever keep him on the level of the beast of the field. Henry Clay. Keep you on the level of the beast of the field. They never intended for you to be human. They intended for you to be lower than a cow, a dog, a cat, a rat, a pig. Now here you are, an ex-slave, ex-negro, ex-nigger, ex-wine drinker, ex-dopehead, every X. And now you say, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. What? How the hell did that happen? Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Oh man, somebody done got to the black Negroes. They don't come back home to Islam. Now that's just the call. Now you got to answer the call and get in here. And let's begin to build. We built everything else for everybody else. Why can't you build for yourself? I love the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. May Allah forgive him his sin and grant him paradise, because he had the courage to go into the highways and the byways, to the gangbangers and everything, into the dope dens. And I know, because I was one of those. I was one of those that went on to in the ghetto, the heart of the ghetto, where they stand on the corner. The ghetto people inherit the corner for the next generation and the next generation. Yeah, I remember your uncle used to be on this corner smoking, young boy. Yeah, but I'm selling the smoke now. So we've come away from that, and Allah has brought us to the Quran and made us conscious of Him. And now we can restrain ourselves from the appetites of the world. Why? Because I can stop eating. I was telling my son this morning, I said, one time when I used to work for Muhammad Speak newspaper plant in Chicago. And that's when you work there, when you come in, you didn't leave out until the paper was printed, loaded, and on the road to the country. And I told myself I did a 5-day dry fast. You know what a dry fast is? Nothing. No water, no food for 5 days, day or night. We didn't fast like we fast now. When you did a fast, you need nothing. I did it dry. They had a nickname for me down there. They used to call me the Holy One from Mount Paran. But now I'm into this religion with knowledge. I'm into this Quran with knowledge. I'm into this understanding with knowledge of how to apply the religion. So I'm obligated by God to deliver this Quran. Allahu Akbar. So Allah says to us, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qu anfusakum ahlikum min nar. O you who believe, save, protect yourselves and your family from the fire. The word in Arabic, qu anfusakum. Qu is the command form of the Arabic verb for waqiyah, which is taqwa. It's the command form of the verb. So Allah gives a command. Qu anfusakum. Save your souls and your families. So this word here means save, protect, preserve, be godly, be devoted, guard it. That's what this word means. Your soul. Because that's what this world wants. Your soul. And you want to give it up, you the one that have to give it up. Satan cannot come and take your soul from you. You have to give it up yourself. By what? By following his footsteps. Following his habits. It's yours. I can't even take it. I can't take your life. Satan can't take your life. You have to give it up. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to say, take me, Satan, all, everything. Just take me. I give up. I can't make it. All he's going to say, my Lord, I told you they couldn't have me. Don't you know Satan recognizes God as his Lord? Yeah. It says in Quran that Satan will come and that he will invite you to look for, disbelieve in God. And then it says when the human being does it, when Satan get ready to be charged, he says, Inni bari'un minka. And this is a heavy mecca over this. Inni bari'un minka. I am free of you. You remember how you used to do something in the house? And you the older brother. And you get the other brother to do something in the house. The cookie said, if your mother told you not to get some out the cabinet. And he said, now you can go get him. His mama said we can get him. And daddy said we can get him. And then when he get busted, well, Qasim told me to do it. No, I didn't. No, you just do to the cat. That's safe. Anybody, that's a heavy method. Bari on minka. And then he said, Inni akhafu Allah Rabbil Alameen. This is Satan said, I fear Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Yeah, right there in the corner. So don't give up. Be committed. Make the same commitment to this project of building for this community that you made the commitment to pay your house note every month, pay your rent every month, pay your car, that big nice car you got, you pay that note every month. Otherwise, the repo person gonna come get it. They're gonna evict you out the house. You pay that insurance every month, health insurance, life insurance, and I lost control of your life. They ain't. But you pay that every month. Did you pay that? Did you pay? Now you don't pay up everything. And then you stumble in here and give a couple of dollars to your project that will make you last better. Commitment, brothers and sisters. You have to make a commitment today to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That I'm going to commit myself for the cause of Islam because it has cleaned my life up. I didn't get drunk last night like I used to get a long time ago. I didn't go to the cop man to buy no nickel bag. What do they still sell nickel bags? I don't know. You gotta go get your nickel bag, your dime bag. You know, now they're buying kilos. Just give it. You know, as soon as you get paid, you gotta go to the mall. Gotta go here. Gotta get the money right back. So you don't have to worry about it. Because the dollar don't even circulate one time in your community. So we need to make a commitment, a sincere commitment to God first. Oh Allah, free me from being stingy in your cause and make me give. I'm telling you, it can be done. We thank Allah for leadership that has that kind of vision. You know, they might talk about us. We don't have this and we don't have that. But we ain't robbing the poor. So I can drive a big fancy cab. Somebody told me, buddy man, sometimes when you be struggling, you might have to go to the church. I said, I'm thinking about it. At least they take care of their pastor. They make sure the pastor got a new car, they got a nice home, you know. I said, but if I did that, I'd be burning in hell forever. But I can, you know, I was in the, I had a good friend of mine, Bagby in Dallas years ago. And I spoke at one of the fairs there, and he got up after me. He was a radio announcer. He said, boy, that Imam is something else. He get that Muslim knowledge with that Baptist road. I said, yeah, but I ain't going to the Baptist. You know, so I'm asking you to support the efforts. Pray this month of Ramadan to ask Allah to strengthen you to be more committed toward our economic growth, toward our business growth, toward our educational growth, toward our religious growth. And ask Allah to bless you to learn the Quran. As soon as I walked in, I won't say her name, but sister walked into me and said, buddy man, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum la ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm. I said, wow, that's nice. You know, I said, wow, you're learning. And she said, I said, but you didn't get the rest of it. So she started giving me the rest of it. I said, and this is the person that didn't know alif or bat or tab a while back. And now they're reciting the throne, one of the most important ayats in the Quran, the verse of the throne. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. And we couldn't do that last month, last year, 5, 10 years ago. But Allah has rectified us. I was telling Naeem, I said, look, I saw him with his outfit on. I said, well, I said, good, we like the day. You know, you might say, well, what Qasim in the day? I said, I'm getting ready to start doing what Imam Muhammad suggested a long time ago. He said, we should start wearing native dress out of Africa. You can put on a suit here and there. Well, I got about 4 or 5 outfits now. I'm gonna get about 20 of them. And what are you trying to do? Nothing. You know, ain't nothing wrong. I can set my style. You know, I don't have to dress Pakistani. I don't have to dress Arab or Indonesian. Everybody had their culture. I was taken out of my continent, of my life, and I want to bring it back. You got the name. You know they told you. One time they told me at the airport one time when all this stuff was going on. She was trying to find me because I was on the watch list. I guess she said she finally got me my pass. She said, why don't you change your name? I said, sister, let me tell you something. You know how long it took me to get this name? I was an ex before. Now I got Qasim Ahmed. If they got a problem with it, they get over it. And the next few months, I went down to get my license changed in Florida. I was living in Florida then. And the lady came back. She said, Homeland Security has cleared you. I said, what you mean it cleared me? She said, well, you see the star that they have on your license? You've been cleared. Mm-hmm. I said, Homeland Security didn't do that. God did that. All right. Now I can get pre-checked everything. I can get the, you know, you couldn't print nothing up. I'm not afraid. Allah took fear from me. I'm not afraid to be searched. I used to search people coming into the temple. We searched everybody. With that teaching we was getting, we might go crazy on each other. But let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. Hold fast. And I pray Allah that you be with us this weekend. Myself and Dr. Nasser Ahmed, Imam Yahya had another appointment for a Ramadan session, what we do. And let me tell you something. When Imam Muhammad began the Ramadan sessions with us, he was a group of us, about 18 Imams. He told us about it. We had a session with him. He said, but in time, the Ramadan sessions will be bigger than even our conventions. He said, and it's not just for one place, it's for every place. You can have a Ramadan session in your house right after Fajr prayer with your wife and family. The Quran is for everyone. So don't think that one person got to have it in their city and etc. like that. You know, people be talking about, well, what about this one? Have them every place. You got over 300 million Americans. Every one of them need to be reading Quran. Do you believe it? Yes, it's true. They belong to Allah too. Brother came to me, I was in Charlotte, and said, Brother man, you know, we got these 2 conventions. You know, what you think about that? I said, not enough. What? I said, we should have more. You know, I said, I remember when Imam Muhammad said we should have 6 of them in each, one in each region. He said it. And those that was in that meeting, or that was on that show at that time, they know it. He said it costs too much for people to travel from California all the way over here and etc. Then he said, not only that, this message is supposed to go to the people of the locality. So he said that we can invite politicians from there and business people, medical people, etc., and do workshops in that area. You see, you know, so people shouldn't have to travel all over. He said, and they can hear me over the national hookup like we used to do. Well, he ain't here, buddy, man. He is here. You listen to him now. Oh, what you saying now? Don't let your man wonder. This message is great. It's for you and me, just like the Quran. When you teach the Quran, you're teaching what Muhammad taught. And inshallah, I hope that you can make these rounds and say, well, I want to deal with one of the most famous chapters in the Quran that you recite every day, 17 times a day. Al-Fatiha. Al-Fatiha. The one that we take for granted because we have memorized it and just go through it. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, amen. That's it. And don't understand the power of that chapter and what it does and how it lights up the life in your life. It lights up the life in your life. If your life is dark, just Fatiha will open it up. So, alhamdulillah, I'm finished. May Allah bless us. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. رمضان مبارك.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
Let's make sure our roads are straight. Let's stand shoulder to shoulder. Allahu Akbar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله Brothers and sisters, before you leave, remember that we're going to have the Ramadan sessions this weekend, and myself and Dr. Nasser Ahmed will be conducting them, and it's going to be a real treat, inshallah, on what we want to share with you this weekend. So may Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Takbir! 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 Ramadan Mubarak. Alhamdulillah. As we just heard from Imam Qasim, we're going to have Ramadan sessions this weekend. And starting today at 6:30 p.m., we will have Imam Qasim and Imam Nasser here. So if you enjoy the Khutbah, and if you enjoy knowledge and growth and understanding of your religion, then we'll be here for these Ramadan sessions, inshallah. So the schedule goes like this. Tonight it will start at 6:30 until iftar. Tomorrow we'll have it from 10 to 4 p.m. Sunday we'll have it from 10 to 4 p.m. So inshallah, like I said, this is the time for growth, the time for understanding. So please come out and support the Ramadan sessions. Oh, and by the way, it's no charge. It's free. You know, all you're giving is your time to grow your religion and grow your understanding. Imam Khan wanted me to let the believers know that the dates will be here, inshallah, Monday or Tuesday. The reason the dates are not here right now for purchase is because UPS lost the pallet. So it's on UPS. It wasn't on us. You know, UPS lost the pallet. We also have spots open left for the iftar. Whoever wants to sponsor iftar, we have spots left open. So see Brother Gaidi or Sister Angelina. Am I missing something? We also have Zah's amazing brazen sauce outside for sale, and also the brownies, supporting the growth of the children that's over in Senegal. And also, brothers, we still need help assembling the playground. You know, we underestimated the playground that we had. we only had 5 or 6 brothers come out, alhamdulillah. But if you go to the side of the building, we have the structure up, but it's a lot more that goes into it. You know, these are one of those playgrounds you'll see down at DH Stanton Park, West End, you know, Grand Park, so on and so forth. It's a actual playground. So we need help putting it together. And also, don't forget to support the vendors outside. You know, Qasim has CDs. You have the chicken sausage, and Brother Naeem outside. So inshallah, dear believers, come out this weekend. Again, it's no charge. All you have to bring is a pencil, paper, and an open mind for growth. Inshallah.
It's called sometimes
Ramadan Mubarak.
in Quran
Assalamu alaikum.
the Hanif nature. Hanif. Hanif. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا قيما لينذر بأسا شديدا من لدنه ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعلمون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا حسنا. والحمد لله الذي أنزل علينا كتابا مبينا وكان آخر ما نزل من آياته اليوم يئس الذين كفروا من دينكم فلا تخشوهم واخشوني اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت.
Assalamu alaikum. We will also have today's khutbah on sale in the lobby, inshallah, in the next few minutes.